Hey, welcome to Oddcast, the Four Nerds by Nerds show. Today you're joined by me, Joe, CN, and of course Paige. And we're going to do a review of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yes.
Now is your chance to go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications so that you can be notified the next time we do one of these reviews or one of the many other things that we go over and cover on our channel, which is all kinds of nerd material at any given time. It could be something random. So we're going to dive right in with a number rating because I think that's the best way to do it. So I'm going to start with Lady's Choice. Paige, what do you give it?
I give it a solid 8.
Okay. Can I ask why? Just generally?
Why I gave it an 8?
Yes.
You don't trust that I just...
No. I do.
I thought the action was really good. I like that they went into some origin story stuff. I don't want to spoil things because we haven't got to the spoilers yet. So I give it an 8.
I gave it a solid 7.
Okay.
I would also give it... I'm going to go with an 8. I'm leaning between 7.5 and 8, but 8.
Yeah, I gave it a 7. There were a couple things that... I think mainly, I don't think it was as intense as King of Monsters, but that's the reason. That's my thing.
So those are our numbers. Now's your chance to GTFO if you haven't already seen the movie. If you have seen the movie and you wish to see the rest of our review, which is going to contain spoilers, please go ahead. But everybody else proceed with caution because we're going to go into a couple of details that we noticed throughout the movie that we'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so right off the bat, I enjoyed the kind of the Kong containment unit / twist in the beginning. Like you're there, everything's normal, and then suddenly it's not normal, and you realize that Kong is living the Truman Show.
Yeah, I would say it's Kong's in the Truman Show, basically.
Yeah.
He launches that twig for him.
He makes like a spear. At first I was like, oh, he's gonna go hunting, and then he doesn't go hunting. He just fucking chucks it at the sky, and I was like, all right, what's he doing?
He's mad at that sun.
No, I was like, oh shit, he's lighting the Amazonian torch so that they know that something's happened to the Mother Cube, and then that's not what happened.
Oh god, DC reference.
But I enjoyed the fact that like there's like this containment unit, which I think is just... It's very interesting to me that they've got such a large containment unit, because you know that Monarch's been there for like 50-something years, and fascinating. And then, of course, you have the little girl who is essentially his only real link to the island now, because something happened to the indigenous people, including her parents.
Yeah.
But we don't know what that is, other than the fact that there's like this throwaway line, kind of like, it's not Thank You for Lying, it's... I'm not going to be able to think of the movie now where we can explain why they're smoking in space by just explaining it with a line.
Oh, thank you for not smoking?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you for not smoking.
It's thank you for smoking.
Thank you, Paige. Thank you for smoking.
Yes.
And in that, they have this line of dialogue, and it's the storm.
Yeah.
They make reference to the storm took the island. And they don't really tell you exactly what that means, other than you know that there's a storm that swirls around Skull Island. Did it move inland? Did it wipe them out? Don't know. But the little girl can communicate with Kong through ASL, which I am super glad to see representation continue for the ASL community. It's beginning to pop up all over the place. I really need to take classes on it so that I can understand and follow.
So then we move into the aggro of Godzilla by Apex. Can we just laugh for a second about them having the name Apex being of the company, like they trying to be the Apex Predators? Like,
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
It's Godzilla. You not the Apex Predator, guys. It's Godzilla.
And I think that it's funny because they seem to be working in tandem with Monarch, kind of, but not really.
I don't know if tandem's the right word, but on the same level, I suppose.
But so Apex is doing something to aggro these people, and that introduces us, of course, to our conspiracy theorist / protagonist hero, which is Bernie, who has infiltrated the Apex machine so that he can figure out what's going on.
I wonder if he actually got the job just so he can...
He did. That's what he said in his first podcast.
Okay.
He got the job as a technician there so that he could learn what they were doing and figure out what was going on. Like, the truth.
I must have missed that part. Oh.
And annoying people to death so that they...
Oh, that was great. That was fantastic with the whole hand sanitizer and, like, the apple.
The toaster thing. I was like, oh, man, that's great.
He annoyed the shit out of that guy, so I was like, I gotta use the bathroom. Yeah, go do what you gotta do.
And, of course, that links Bernie to Millie Bobby Brown's character, which is not 11 which always makes it weird, like to see her without a shaved head or bloody nose or
in like
normal teenage getup. It's weird. I can't explain it other than it's weird. It's just, it doesn't seem right.
It's
Can we say what else was weird? They just walked on through Apex. Like, they didn't, there's no cameras, they weren't being selfied, nothing. They just waltzed right in, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Being loud, like, nobody.
Yeah, nothing. It was just...
I just thought that was weird with how locked down it had been. Like, he just walked around the corner and they were about to shoot Bernie when they were on the lockdown when they first aggroed Godzilla. But nah, they didn't
have everything else after that was just go for it.
They didn't have any locks on any of the elevators that went down to like section
sub-levels. And we only know that there's a sub-level 33. It could have gone down further. We have no idea. But they could have. They could have found out just by pressing some buttons.
They stopped at 33 and they were able to open up any door they want with no security. And then it was just weird.
Then, of course, you've got, the super secret government thing, and they pull Kong into the fight and tie him up, put him on the boats.
Well, so the whole super secret thing, you saw it from the jump. Like, that guy was just gonna be like, "Yeah, can you get Kong to do this so we can get this?"
Yeah, Monarch is not manipulating, but moving Kong, and then their first battle is at sea, home advantage Godzilla. I can already hear all the Godzilla fans right now raging about how Godzilla would have won, except for the fact that Kong had help from the humans, blah, 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 blah.
And speaking of that, I want to let you guys know this right now. I was rooting for Godzilla, but throughout the movie, I was rooting for Kong. Like, I love Kong.
I was team Kong all the way. No, since the jump, I was team. Like, I have nothing against Godzilla. I liked the God of King of Monsters. That was the last Godzilla movie. That was an awesome fucking movie. But no, I was team Kong all the way.
No, I like Kong. I like Kong, but hardcore Godzilla guy. So like
the movie subverted my expectations. I had thought that Godzilla would die and Kong would win for reasons of story,
right?
Which we'll get into and we'll get into shortly. So they fight for the first time on sea, and then they make it back to land. And getting back to land is perfect because they use 15 or 16 of the largest helicopters they can find, and a net that is crazy large, and they transport Kong via air to Antarctica, where the opening is.
I wonder how much fuel they burned just to carry his ass.
And he gets there, and my favorite thing is his initial reaction to snow. He's like, "Oh, great, I'm back on land." And he lifts up the snow. He's like, "Thanks. I hate it," and he just tosses it away.
He looks super annoyed. He's like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, I'm from a jungle. What the fuck, guys? Come on, get my habitat right. No. So then they let him into the underground, and by underground we mean the fucking hollow earth. Journey to the center of the earth happens in the middle of the movie.
I thought it was cool. I like origin story stuff, which is part of the reason why I gave it the ranking that I did. I thought the Hollow Earth bit was really cool, and I was like, now I'm just mad that they destroyed the throne room, and like you saw the Godzilla ring around the throne, and like I wanted to know more about that, but now it's buried, and we'll never know.
So,
it's not truly buried. Yeah. There's still a giant hole to it.
Yeah, and
yeah, straight into Hong Kong, which is just ridiculous.
I'm gonna talk about that in a second because I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But what I thought was weird was, and I kept telling Joe this, I was like, where the hell is the sun coming from?
Yeah, and I was like, maybe it's the core of the planet.
And then we saw birds. And I'm like,
turned out to be.
I also have no idea.
Pterosaurs.
No, pterosaurs.
Like,
yes, they were legit fucking birds and clouds.
So guys, it's an old trope. It's a Jules Verne type of thing, like, because in Journey to the Center of the Earth there is like another
sun,
but it's not a sun. It's like a rock or something that gives off solar energy. It's
I
weird.
Don't buy it.
But they don't
the whole
explain
time I was like, if the sun goes down when they're there, I'm gonna be pissed.
But they also kind of do like, and we made a point of this, when they're going through the tunnel to get into it, they go to where the kaiju live. For anybody who's seen Pacific Rim, they go through the little vortex thing to get through to the center of the Earth. And I was like, so is it like transdimensional?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they went to a different dimension.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It was weird.
It was weird.
So the center of the Earth.
They said it was this gravitational vortex is the word that they used, but but
it's not even a vortex because it flips. It flips gravity so that gravity's reversed. And while that's possible that it could happen, it wouldn't increase pressure or anything. Like, I was like, what do you guys... Okay, whatever, we'll just go with it. But then you get to the throne room, which is badass. Like,
yes,
Kong sits down and
so cool.
I was like,
and he gets fucking Kratos' axe.
Yeah, like I was like, some civilization, not sure if it was human-like, that lived in the Land of the Lost. I'm gonna keep calling it Land of the Lost. I'm sorry, but
Hollow Earth, buddy.
Is it Hollow Earth?
Yeah.
Hollow Earth.
Otherwise, it would be the LOLVs.
Oh.
That's what it's gonna be called.
Lolvs.
The Lolvs.
Oh.
We're on the Lolv 1.
But yeah, there was this obvious civilization that worshipped Kong. Or
So
I don't think there was a civilization of Kong
I think
people.
that's where those indigenous people on Skull Island came from.
Well, so we know that Skull Island has openings that led to the center.
Yes, they did say that.
They established that in Kong Skull Island. However, they also established that Godzilla had temples to him in the ocean somehow.
No, it was in I think Egyptian era, but it got swallowed up by the water.
No, but it was like in the Mariana
we might as well
Trench.
just say it Atlantis.
Yeah, kind of like an Atlantis type thing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but it's all super far underwater. Like, too far for it to be like, we're going to build a city here.
True.
And it's got lava and radiation. Like,
Guys, there's Titans and Hollow Earth. Why are you trying to make sense out of science? Like, y'all.
It's not even the science. We just want to know how the humans did it. You could make a whole movie about the ancient Titans, and I'd be like, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted to know.
I'll eat the shit out of that just all day.
So then we get to round 2, and it's Kong versus Godzilla after Godzilla digs a tunnel. And by digs a tunnel, I mean, like, drills with radiation breath.
Like, I was just...
I was a little weirded out by
So much for that gravitational thing, whatever the fuck it was, it's gone. Godzilla just made a hole.
They spent all that technology of just digging and then doing all that, and Godzilla was able to just burn a hole through the planet.
Yeah. He was just like, and done. So then...
1 second, can we just say how happy I was when Kong crushed that fucking chick? The daughter? I was happy when she got
He did it, and then he wiped his hand, which was great. He was like...
He did. Sorry,
wiped his hand.
I just loved that part. I was like, yes! It was great.
And that's actually a really good example of immediate comeuppance. Because it wasn't too long. It wasn't like it drug out.
Okay, so they're taking a little piece of whatever the magic life-giver energy is. They're taking a little piece of it, and everybody freaks out, and they go from 0 to 100 real quick. There's no subtlety of like, well, this is what the expedition was really for, but it's just for scientific purposes. Everything's gonna be fine. They immediately draw their guns and like point them at the little girl in front of Kong. I was like, what did you guys think was gonna happen?
Stupid?
Yeah, like, okay, that's a great plan.
There's so many stupid moments. There's so many stupid fucking human moments in this movie. I was like, what is the matter with you people?
So then she gets crushed.
Yeah.
And then Kong claws his way through the center of the earth to Hong Kong, and then round 2 starts. And it doesn't just like kick off. It's like neon future Hong Kong with like neon lights all over the fucking place. And people just hanging out in the buildings. Like Godzilla's already there, and like it keeps flashing like inside of the clubs, and people are still like looking out the windows. F-bomb on that. Godzilla's here.
Let's go
I'm
to
leaving.
The Titan shelters. Come on, like
Yes.
people just sitting there chilling.
Like it was, they literally had sirens going off. Head to the Titan shelters. People were running, and then you still have motherfuckers still hanging out and
doing their thing.
The skyscrapers,
and
not just the lower level buildings. The fucking towers.
And we're not talking about like drunk guys like in Godzilla 1984 where he's cursing at Godzilla as Godzilla's destroying the city. We're talking about just normal people like living their lives, doing their thing in restaurants and stuff while there's, oh, is this our entertainment for the evening? Watching 2 giant creatures battle each other? Yes. I'll take a burger, please.
I need more bread, please.
No, they're fucking dumb. That was an awesome fight. I really like that fight.
It was a great fight. And I'm not going to lie, in the previews, I totally thought that it was a satellite dish hammer that Kong had.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And then it was an axe. I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome.
Well, it might have been a satellite
dish. Yeah, they might have like... They might have pulled an Avengers Infinity War with the Hulk.
Yeah, and changed it.
So they show you one thing, but then it's really another thing. But it all worked out. But the axe was awesome, and then it just got cooler. So then, of course, you have the introduction of the real villain in the story, because we all know that when a hero fights a hero, there's going to be a villain.
Yes.
And it's typically not one of the 2 heroes. So... Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla was not what I was expecting. Excuse me. Never rephrase that. I was expecting Mechagodzilla, but the way he looked was not what I was expecting.
Mechaghidorah. And we both kind of got what we wanted, but Mechagodzilla's look was not sleek enough.
Yeah, King Ghidorah. They hinted at King Ghidorah's head. I was like, oh, they're about to make a King Ghidorah because
we know that it's a thing and it'd be awesome.
And they didn't do that. They decided to kind of do a fusion of Mechagodzilla and King Ghidorah.
Yeah,
which is weird.
So apparently Ghidorah's central nervous system doesn't go through his necks. So all of his heads don't communicate via the spine. They communicate through telepathy.
And the skull is still technically active.
Yeah, even though he's dead, so it could be resurrected. I'm sure that's coming at some point. And they pilot him like a...
They pilot him like a Gundam.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Originally. And then once he gets the life giver energy, boom, he's resurrected. And then one of the skulls takes over Mechagodzilla, kills the pilot. And just like that, you've got a Jaeger on the loose, but with no control. But I wanted him to be smoother. I think that's what it is. He wasn't girthy enough.
Yeah, I don't think he was girthy enough.
Yeah.
But he was really cool. Like, I dug him, but he looked too blocky. It's the same problem that I had with the original cut of Justice League.
I thought he was too slim.
I agree with that, but I also think that he was just too, like... He was too much like, I am a robot.
No, and that's what I liked about it. I like the fact that he was a robot, but like, if they made him too mech-like, I think that would have been too much.
I think that they could have smoothed him out and made him a little bit larger.
They should have made him
as far as like the body girth.
But I can tell you one thing, he beat Godzilla's ass.
Yeah.
Like, so no question.
And I know that it's called Godzilla versus Kong, but it really should have been called Kong Fights Everybody. Because Godzilla fights, like, empty factories and facilities and humans, and fights Kong. But Kong, like, fights monsters in the... Like, he fights Godzilla, and then without taking a nap or catching a beat, he fights things in the center of the earth.
Yep.
And then without resting or catching a beat, he goes and fights Godzilla again.
And then he
gets beat.
Mechagodzilla. So,
like, he just kept going.
This was definitely a Kong movie, without question. It's kind of like the whole... Batman.
It's like Captain America: Civil War. It's kind of an Avengers movie, but it was labeled as a Captain America movie.
Right. This technically is a Kong movie, like sequel.
And I'm
to Kong.
okay with that because I love Kong.
Yeah. Mechagodzilla was super fast. I thought that was great. Didn't give no fucks at all.
He just destroyed everything. He was like, your face.
He was through everything he was able to throw him through. Like.
Yeah, I felt really bad for Hong Kong. Like, they fucked Hong Kong up.
Yeah.
They leveled fucking Hong Kong. Except for that one fucking helicopter. Did y'all see that?
Did you guys see that shit?
Heroic News Chopper 5 covering the destruction of Hong Kong.
Like, the random ass helicopter that was just flying across the screen like...
It's super important, guys. It's going to be in the sequel movies. It's going to have its own thing.
The fact that Paige and I, we watch it separately, both noticed the same shit... You guys, if you guys notice it, put it in the comments. If you notice that random helicopter at the end, put it in the comments.
Also, I'm willing to put money that since the Universal ride is probably going to open back up, I think that it's going to be the Heave 01 is what they're going to be on for the new Universal ride. Instead of the subway car going past New York as Kong attacks, you're going to be on one of those like stationary, like moving things that they do in the rooms for the thrill ride.
And what was funny was what gave us that idea was that part where the ship came from out of the ground while Kong was fighting Godzilla, and then like there was a huge first-person view of Kong as it's just missing.
Yeah, I was like, that's a ride.
That's a ride.
That's the ride that they have there. The movie, I mean, it's...
it was a good movie, but where do you think they're going to go now? Because like, I don't know that they have anywhere else to go.
They have space.
The only thing that they could potentially do, because Godzilla have already beaten or put in submissive all the other monsters, so the only thing they could potentially do
except for Kong. They have a mutual understanding and respect for one another.
Yes.
Is Space Godzilla. That's the only thing they can...
Or Destroyer, or they could...
Destroyer could be... Yeah, they could do Destroyer.
There's so many places they could go with it. Like, is the life giver energy free? They could also go
Hollow Earth. Like, since now they're in Hollow Earth, something else could pop out of there.
Yeah, Destroyer could come from Hollow Earth.
And we know that skull crawlers come from the hollow ground, and they get larger once they get up there. So, with Kong not defending Skull Island, I mean, maybe one of them gets up there and mutates.
Maybe.
Possibly.
And we know that there's other giant sleeping titans that haven't awoken yet.
So it's, I mean, they really couldn't go anywhere, but there was no end credit stuff. So
there's no end credit. There's no link to anything, so we don't know if there's a plan. But I can't imagine that Universal's going to just give up on the legendary MonsterVerse, because so far it's really entertaining. And then of course they've got 50 years between Kong Skull Island and this one.
They're not going to go back.
I don't think they're gonna go back.
No,
I mean,
they're not gonna go back.
I'm here for the giant monster destruction movies. Like
Yes.
that's another reason why I gave it an 8. I love the big destructive movies. Like they're so much fun. It's so much fun to watch all this bullshit happen. So like I'm here for it. It was good. It was really good. I liked it.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I definitely gave it a solid 7. I don't think it was as intense. No, excuse me, intense. It was better. It was a little bit more intense, but I don't think it was. It was something about King of Monsters that I just.
No, King of Monsters was better.
Yeah, it was just something about it. It was
give you
just
that.
fantastic. That
It
was
really
that
was.
was better than this movie.
You know what I think it is? I think it's they didn't have enough of a hype train. And I know that's weird to say, but like, so after you watch Godzilla, the first one, there's only just the one fight scene. And then King of Monsters, it's like, oh shit, Godzilla's got another villain, here we go. But then in this one, Godzilla versus Kong, yeah, it's the fight that everybody wants to see, but it could have been a lot better if you'd have thrown in like more things fighting Kong first or more things fighting Godzilla first.
Maybe.
To get to that confrontation.
Maybe.
Or instead of it being Apex being the ultimate bad guy, it could have been a different threat that would have joined them more solidly together instead of a human one. I feel like having a
Mecha
mutual,
King Ghidorah.
yeah, some type of mutual thing to fight and bring them together like that would have made it a little more solid of an impact. But it was totally good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where they go with it. Are you interested to see where they go with it? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. What are your theories? What do you think? Do you think Monarch's done? Do you think Apex is actually aliens? That's what I think. Do you think...
That's a good thought. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, Godzilla's known for it. Aliens all the time. And we know Ghidorah is an alien, and that pilot was able
Which
to
is
get
confirmed
into
in
it.
King of Monsters. So if you haven't noticed it, go watch King of Monsters.
And we know that there's more monsters out there.
there.
So Space Godzilla maybe is a thing. Maybe there's a new irradiated Godzilla. Maybe there's a second Godzilla. I don't know. Maybe they're going to try and clone him. They're still Gigan. I want to know how they're going to explain a monster with a buzzsaw in their stomach.
I don't think I want to know that. I'm good.
Anyways, leave us a message in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the movie. Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? Are you even a Godzilla fan? If so, did you silently, like I did, root for Kong? Because I did.
It's because of that Kratos style axe.
I don't know what it is, but definitely leave a message in the comments. While you're there, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification. That way you know when we're doing more ridiculous stuff.
And there will
like
be
this.
more. We got a whole bunch of movies coming out.
So stay tuned. But other than that, I think we're done.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. And if you haven't watched, well, hopefully you've already watched it. But if not, watch more stuff.
Yeah.
Watch the movie. It's good.
It's really good. Later, guys.
Stay safe
Bye.
out there.